What's up, everybody? Y'all know Mulala here, aka Breezy the Hero. So, market breakdown today, and to know the markets are opening tomorrow. So, I'll be focusing on GBP USD, DXY, which is the dollar index, US 30, and then, we'll take it from there. So, make sure you take out your notepad and your pen and take some notes. So jumping straight to it, we are on the 1 hour time frame, and guys, to find out the way I trade, either I swing or I day trade. I used to scalp, but I feel like scalping is too fast, and when I started out, I jumped straight into scalping, and I feel like that's the reason why, like I really took some time for me to really grasp the market. So if you're really starting out in trading, I'd really recommend you to start out swing trading or day trading. That way, you're not stressed out, and like your stop losses are not that tight. So, you know, that's how it is. And again, a big tip for y'all is that whenever you're in profits, whenever a price breaks the entry level, make sure you make a stop loss to break even. What do I mean by that? You drag your stop loss into profits. It becomes, or it be, on top of your entry level, right? So moving forward, hence we see that we have some kind of resistance up there, and if I was to move on the H4, you'd see it properly. So on the H4, let me move all this and start all over so y'all can see what I really do, right? So on the H4, I see we have some kind of trend, right? We can see we have a trend in, trend out. You see that price started dropping to the downside. Let me use that way. See that price started dropping to the downside. And you have to remember, guys, whenever you analyze, don't forget to look to the left side. What do I mean by that? Look at the past data. It will also help you. That's what technical analysis is. Looking at past data, looking at past highs and past lows, right? So moving forward, let's go back to the 1 hour time frame. So looking at price, we can really tell that looking at price, we can tell what it is, because the market is still playing in one region so far. Hence, you can see we are on the 1 hour time frame. So hence, we did our analysis. We see what we see, but again, I'm gonna break down to y'all what I see, right? So if you pay close attention, and hence I did mention in my last video, right? Trade the markets for what they are. Don't create your own scenarios. Hence, y'all can see that how we started the week. We had that impulse, we had that retest, and price continued. And we had that second retest, and price continued. So, in other words, if you could have just been patient and you held this high right here, you could have secured some more profits on top of that. So, if I could do this just to show to y'all how you would have took this trade, stop loss was gonna be just under your support. And again, the way you set your stop loss, if you're taking your trade on a small time frame, use a bigger time frame to set your stop loss and take profit, right? So I'm gonna target those lows right there, and then this is how you would actually take the trade. This is how it would all look. This is how you would take the trade, guys. Hence, y'all can see that after that support, price started pushing to the upside, right? So your entry level was gonna be the moment price breaks. But if you were to be very patient, you were gonna wait for that retest, and that subsequent bearish candle was gonna be your first confirmation. And the moment price breaks that support, that resistance we created up here, hence y'all can see we had that break, price retested, continued again to the upside, take profit, hit, made your money, you out, right? So when it comes to trading, guys, like, you shouldn't complicate things to a point where You want to create your own scenarios in your head. You have to trade the markets for what they are, right? So let me create another example for y'all. Let's say, for example, you wanted to catch this lows right here. Where's my short position? For you to catch this sell position right here, obviously your stop loss was gonna be stop loss very tight, stop loss above the trend line. And again, you are going to target that support. Why? Because that's where price broke, and there's a 50% chance that that's where price is going to go back and retest before doing its next move, right? So hence y'all can see the way I trade, like, it's very simple, guys. You don't have to complicate things. It's very simple. The market has to follow you. You shouldn't try being a leader in the market, right? So hence y'all can see you could have took this trade right there, and or you could have waited for that retest too and take profit. Are still gonna get hit. So it's nothing crazy. And then for this week, what I'm seeing on GBP USD, I'm really seeing price breaking this support. And why am I saying this? For you to understand, let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. Right. So if I come back to the 4-hour time frame, right, let me move all these arrows. If I come back to the 4-hour time frame, y'all can see that price has been rejecting, and we eventually created some kind of support. Right, we created some kind of resistance. I'm sorry for that, guys. We created some kind of resistance up here. The moment price started rejecting, we had a candle, and the candle left the wick. Automatically, that resembles resistance, right? And hence y'all can see every time we hit that resistance, price became weak. Every time we break, price became weak. Every time we rejected, price became weak. So in other words, that's me saying the market has to follow you, not you being the leader in the market. Because this way you would see that, hey, every time price reaches that support, price eventually becomes weak. Every time we hit, we become weak, even though we did break, but we still smelted and we still had that drawdown to the downside. Price still pushed, right? So that's why I say patience is key in the market. Look again right here. Price retested, rejected, and a bullish subsequent candle popped. But what happened? We didn't push to the upside. But the moment we broke that support, we smelted and we left the wick. That means price is weak. It's showing you that buyers are not in control, but the sellers instead. So what do I see for this week? For this week, what I see is very simple. I'm sorry for all the noise. So for this week, what I see is for the market to continue what it started. Because hence we see on Wednesday, price kind of rejected, right? And we had that retest, and NFP last Friday pushed price to the downside, right? Yet we didn't break this support yet. So that's what we're waiting for. Probably Tuesday, we wait for that breakout. And if you're really patient enough, you wait for price to break and you wait for it to retest. That way you have confirmation that price is gonna have that impulse drop to the downside, right? That way you have strong confirmation that price is gonna drop to the downside. So in other words, you wait for price to break that support that it created. You wait for that retest. And then you wait for that subsequent bearish candle. That's when you might take your trade and push, probably to the downside. And probably that's where we might also see that second retest and price to push even lower. Because trust me, this week I'm really seeing the dollar doing very well. Why? Because of all Donald Trump's responses, all the tariffs, all the talks, all the troops, everything. So you also have to be big on fundamentals. You have to understand what's happening in the market, what's moving the market. So that's that for GBP USD, and I hope you all understood. So let's move to US 30. And remember, guys, US 30, it's the biggest 30 companies in the US, whether it's a beverage company, whether it's clothes company, whether it's a retail, whether it's a jewelry, whether it's oil production, or whether it's electric vehicles, So you gotta do your research and know what's what. And hence y'all can see on the H4, NFP went extremely wrong. If I go to the 1 hour time frame, y'all can see what happened on US 30, right? We ended up getting stopped out because I was like, price is gonna retest before pushing to the upside. Yet price retested, and that's where price closed on Friday. Hence y'all can see we got stopped out, but that's that. And y'all can see that the very same stop loss, or the very same rejection that we had, is where we also created that support. I don't know if y'all can see, but the very first week we rejected on, and if I just trail or draw, you can see that we did create support. And how I like drawing my zones, I like to fill it in the candlestick, so yeah, that's how it is. And hence y'all can see that support price rejected, and not once but 3 times. So we can already tell that we're looking for a clean buy to the upside. And again, hence I said I'm also seeing the dollar doing very well. And if the dollar will be doing well, we already know that US companies will also be elevating too, right? So hence y'all can see last week's move was a bullish move for me, because we had that higher high, we had that higher low, we created that higher high, we had that higher low. Now waiting for price to create that higher high and create a new high on US 30. So simple setup I'm seeing here. We created some kind of support. Price rejected not once but 3 times on the same zone. And for me, what I know is that the more price rejects, the more the zone becomes weak. So hence y'all can see first rejection, second rejection, and that second rejection, we hit that support, we melted, and price pushed to the upside. And again, hence y'all can see the very same resistance we created by that first high is the very same resistance we came back to retest and drop to the downside. And what do I expect? What I expect is for the market to respect my zone and to push to the upside. This is what I'm seeing, right? Market to respect my zone and to push to the upside. So how would we take the trade? This is exactly how we would take the trade. Let me do this. This is how we would exactly take the trade, because using our support would put our stop loss under our support zone. That way, if price breaks that support zone, we want to be out. We don't want to be in that trade, right? So we might target this resistance, but hence I said that I'm really seeing the dollar doing very well, or seeing the dollar performing very well. And I really believe that US 30 and other indices in the US might probably reach new highs, right? Same as NASDAQ. And I'm also looking at US 30. So we might probably target 46,000, which is going to be that new high. 46,000, which might be that new high, and our stop loss might be under that support, right? And hence y'all can see that the market doesn't always go your way. Sometimes you might have that fake out first, sometimes you might have that breakout first, sometimes the market might just consolidate before going your way. So that's the reason why I keep saying timing is crucial and patience is key in the markets, right? So hence we see price might even break to the downside before pushing up and retesting and creating its bullish move to the upside. Or price might even respect our zone and move the way we want it to move. Price might just create that engulfing bearish candle, and we might retest, impulse, retest, impulse. And hence y'all can see there, hence y'all can see that's how the market moves, right? In Let me do this. That's how the market move. In every impulse, we have a correction. In every impulse, we have a correction. Every impulse, we have a correction. In other words, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So price, I believe US 30 will be pushing to the upside. And again, a solid confirmation might also be price breaking the very same resistance we created, because you have to pay close attention and remember that price created a new high, right? You gotta see and pay close attention that price created a new high. That was the first high we created, the first high, and then price kept on playing. We came back to retest that very same high, but we couldn't break it, and price just dropped and retested. And again, you have to remember that indices fell short not because of any uncertainty, but it's because all the tariffs, all the new rules Trump has set. You got to remember that Trump is the new US president, and he's been making moves. He's been trying to change, he's been trying to do that, and hence y'all can see that the dollar also impulsed to the upside last Friday on NFP due to mixed jobs, due to rise in some things, consumers buying, all that. So you gotta pay close attention to fundamentals and know that fundamentals are also something that will also help you, they will also put you 10 steps ahead. Because if you only focus on technical analysis, yes, you might be doing the right thing, but if there is a news event and something might happen without your confirmation, anything can happen in the market. So that's the reason why you have to be a technical and a fundamental analysis, right? I don't care what works for you, you always have to improve. Even the millionaires, even the elites, even the richest ones, they still improve their life. So that's how it is. So that's what we see for US 30. And just to analyze the dollar, hence y'all can see. Let's move to the forward time frame and we'll tell what it is. Hence y'all can see also the dollar on NFP. I did say on my previous video that the dollar is gonna drop to the downside, but what happened, price didn't just drop, right? Hence y'all can see price didn't just drop. Hence y'all can see that I did say that the dollar is gonna drop, and yes, we did drop, but eventually price melted and we pushed to the upside. And that's a good sign for me because I've been waiting for dollar to be bullish. I wanted to catch that bullish momentum because I know the moment they start that bullish momentum, we're gonna create new highs. I definitely see dollar reaching 111 or 112. So that's what we'll wait to see. And again, another way to look at it, price might just reject this resistance, respect the support or even touch this support and then push back to the upside, retest, impulse, retest, impulse. That way we created a new high. So there's a lot of ways you can look at it. There's really a lot of ways you can look at it. And again, if we were to go on the 1 hour time frame, that way you would see it properly, right? If I was to go on the 1 hour time frame, you can see that price is respecting our zones. And again, guys, hence y'all can see after the drop we had, right? The moment price rejected, we created support. The moment price rejected, we created support. And y'all can see price pushed, came back to retest the very same support we rejected, and price did push to the upside. Hence, y'all can see price came back to retest, and that was Friday, which was NFP. So when the news was released, price pushed and eventually spiked back up. So that showed you that the dollar has moved off its weakness ground and now it's steady gaining some more strength. So that's something you have to look out for too. And y'all can see that we did break that resistance line that we have been failing to break. So you can also see, but again, something you have to pay close attention to is the moment we had that break, we had a few bearish candles that formed, and again price tried breaking but we couldn't. So for me, it's a break, and we had that retest. And on Monday, price might open very, very, very ridiculous. What do I mean by that? We might have an open gap. In other words, price might just push to the upside first before creating that impulse to the upside. So that's the reason why I say timing is crucial. Just because your session is active doesn't mean you should trade. And just because the session is open doesn't mean you gotta be there. Sometimes you gotta sit back and observe, right? Timing is crucial, patience is crucial in the market. Sometimes you have to sit down and not trade. If you cannot like spend 2 days without trading, like I don't know what it is. Because trust me, the market won't offer the same opportunity every day. There won't always be volatile moves every single day. Sometimes the market might just consolidate. So that's what you have to know too. So, yep. I just hope you all learned something and see you in my next video. Busy the Hero signing out. Yes, sir.